It's not called the dirty 30s for nothing. And it's your wealth building years and your health building years. And although I'm still in my 30s, I'm going to share with you some of the lessons that I've learned about wealth building in my 30s. Hi, my name is Yolanda and welcome to Financially Fabulous Females. On this channel, I give you easy, actionable tips, content and strategies that you can use to manage your money well, to live abundantly and build generational wealth. So in this video, I want to share with you some of the lessons that I have learned in wealth building, and I want to share that with you. Hopefully you can use this in your life as well. So first thing is keeping up with the Joneses. Hopefully you are not somebody who's keeping up with the Joneses or the Kandasamis as we are in South Africa. We want to be intentional with our money. We want to be consistent with how we use our money in terms of wealth building. And the first lesson that I have learned is not to buy a car out of your price range. So cars are a highly depreciating asset. New cars lose their value about 30% in the first year and 50% in the first 3 years. And the reality is, and if you're a working professional, you need a car, right? But you don't really need 18,000 Rand a month car payment. So here's a quick guide on how you can keep your car payments within a reasonable level. So when it comes to your vehicle payments, your car payments on your finance is not the only expense that you have. So let's assume that your car payment is 5,000 Rand a month. Your insurance payment is 1,000 Rand a month. Your vehicle license, we'll calculate it to 90 Rand a month. And you know that in South Africa, we pay vehicle license fees once a year. I hope you are doing that. And then you have your monthly fuel and maintenance fee. Let's assume it's 2,500 Rand a month. So the total cost of running your vehicle for the month is 8,590 rands. And what we want to calculate here is your vehicle expense ratio. And this is the ratio that gives you an indication of how much of your income that you're using for your vehicle. Right, to get this ratio, okay, ideally we want to be within the 15 to 20% range. That's the ideal range. So we want to take our total spend of the vehicle. In our case here, in our example, it's 8,590. And we want to divide it by our income. Let's assume our income is 40,000 rands. So this gives us a ratio of 21.5%. And you can see that 21.5% is out of our range of the guided 15 to 20%. It's just a guide that I've come up with. All right, so how do you bring this ratio down? You got to bring down, firstly, your monthly expenses, or you got to increase your income to make sure that this ratio is in a safe space. So ideally, it's difficult to increase your income if you don't have a strategy. So you want to keep these payments down, right? You want to keep fuel and maintenance down, which is very difficult due to the petrol price increases anywhere from 8 to 10% a year. For the last 5 years, fuel prices have doubled in South Africa over the last 10 years, sorry. So this is an ever increasing cost. This stays fairly stagnant. This you can negotiate every year. I do this every year with my insurer. I negotiate this every year. And ideally, when you do purchase your car, you don't want to finance it for greater than 4 years, and you want to put down a high deposit. So this brings down your monthly car payments. And also, let's not even talk about balloon payments, because financially savvy people don't do that. All right, so this is a quick guide for you on how you can calculate your vehicle expense ratio. And if this is on the high side, you need to adjust accordingly. If you're getting value from this video, please consider subscribing to this channel so you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. Please like this video as well. It will help me reach people just like you that are looking for personal finance content. The second lesson that you need to know in your 30s is do not buy a home more than you can afford, because you're going to spend every single extra cent you have paying down your bond, your 7%, 8% bond. So what happens in terms of building an emergency fund, saving for retirement, investing? What quality of life will you have if you dump every single cent that you have into this bond? Investing offshore can easily give you a 15% plus annual return. So why do you want to be paying off a 7% bond when you can be getting greater returns elsewhere? Right, so you gotta not buy so high. So consider a house that gives you better value in a good area that will appreciate over time, that you could sell at a profit at a later stage, and it meets the requirements in terms of your budgetary needs as well. Lesson 3 is lifestyle creep. Now, every time you're getting an increase at work, if you're lucky enough to get a 5%, you start spending more. You upgrade your car, you upgrade your phone, you're eating out more. So those are the kind of lifestyle creeps that creep up in your 30s because you're more established in your career, you get a nice pay raise. But the reality is that 5% annual increase it needs to be used as an inflationary buffer to buffer the expenses that are increasing year on year, and also to increase the contributions to your retirement and your investment solutions as well. So if you're struggling with spending, try and withdraw your funds cash. Whatever your budget is for your luxuries that month, withdraw it cash and spend cash. So you're not tempted to overspend on your credit cards. So when that money is done, that cash in your hand, once it's done, whether you spend it in a day or 20 days, once it's done, it's done. That's it. Wait for the next pay cycle. Lesson number 4 is about living on credit. Now, credit, consumer credit in South Africa is very high. Sometimes 13, 14, 15% interest on your credit cards. And the key with your credit cards is to use your credit card within that 55-day interest-free period. So whatever you use, pay it down. So don't spend more than you can actually afford. That 4,000 Rand a month that you're paying on your consumer debt can easily be going into investments that are generating income for you, for your children, and that are appreciating in value as well, thereby increasing your net worth. Lesson number 5 is not investing. And if you're in your 30s and you're not investing, you got to really look at your spending. And reaching your financial goals, it's not a race, it's not instantaneous. It takes planning, it's a marathon. And you got to pace yourself with your wealth building journey. And time in the market is key. We speak about that a lot in the channel. You got to invest early, you got to be consistent with your investing, and you got to be intentional with how you set up your investments as well. You also have to use this as an opportunity to give your kids a head start. Because like I said, the more time you spend in the market, it's far greater than how much you spend with your investments. So whatever head start you can give to your kids, whether it's a once-off 5,000 Rand investment over a period of 30 to 40 years, that 5,000 Rand can grow depending on the type of investment portfolio that you're in. So after you pay your tithes, giving is a big part of wealth building. Pay yourself first. And when you pay yourself first, invest into efficient solutions. And we speak more about that here. All right, so those are my 5 lessons that you need to know in your 30s. Still have a couple of years to go in my 30s, so I'll update this video as soon as we have a few more lessons to share with you about wealth building in your 30s. I'll see you in the next video.